Hey, welcome to Cole Conversations. I'm Dr. Charles Cole III, and let's talk.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm in control. I'm in my mode. I'm in my zone. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm in control. I'm in my mode. I'm in my zone.
For this first topic, we're going to talk about Ja Morant. And this isn't about judgment or anything like that. I just think that there is something to be learned here. I want to start with the facts. All right, I got my notes right here, so I don't make a mistake. But let's just start with the facts before we get into any other topic. All right. So Ja Morant has been suspended for 25 games with conditions for reinstatement. All right. That means that he has not promised his spot to be reinstated unless he finishes whatever program the commissioners put him on. That's one. The reason has been listed for conduct detrimental to the league. Lastly, Morant will lose $304,545 a game. And that is at least $7.6 million off top. We're not talking about him potentially not being able to qualify for his Supermax. We're not talking about the money he could lose out on All-Star game or any other incentives. And I think that puts him underneath the threshold required for him to receive any end of season awards, such as the MVP or most improved or whatever. All right. Those are the facts. Let's get into some of this commentary. And I want to start with my first point. I love Ja Morant. I truly love him. I wish I could do what he did on the basketball court. Basketball kept me out of trouble. It has been my favorite thing in my entire life. I've loved one thing more than basketball in my life, if I'm being completely honest, and that's the women who raised me, my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, Ozetta Hooper. That's the only person, it's the only thing that I've ever put over basketball. I just didn't have that type of skill. I was a decent player in high school. Was a co-captain in my last year playing. I still have not done anything that has brought me the joy that basketball has brought me. So seeing Ja Morant be able to do what Ja Morant does and being able to play above the rim, it's incredible. There's a reason why so many people are in love with him, especially kids. Okay, so I just wanted to really start there. And I wanted to also say, I am not judging him for the mistakes that he made. I make dumb mistakes all the time. And I'd be devastated if I had to live those out in front of the world. Like, I make stupid mistakes. Like, there's always something that I'm going through, and the mistakes suck more when it's from your own doing. When I was growing up poor, it was a lot of things that was done to me or as a result of poverty or whatever the case was. But, you know, struggling in that stuff when it's not necessarily your fault, you just are just kind of there, is very different than your own man-made issues, which I think that if we're all being honest and human, we all fall short, right? So it's not a judgment. It's just a conversation and an opportunity for people to learn. And it leads me into this piece, right? Because for those people that's thinking that it's no big deal, that there are people that are saying Ja shouldn't get suspended no games. Ja didn't do nothing wrong. You know, they hating on him for whatever reason, for this, that, and the third. It wasn't illegal what he did. Let's have a serious conversation. Let's have a conversation from a business standpoint. Let's have a conversation as adults. And, you know, I think somebody brought up another NBA player that liked guns or whatever the case was. I don't know if maybe it been Chris Kaman. I don't remember who it was. But here's the thing. It wasn't Ja Morant. It wasn't the person who they are trying to prime and prep to become the face of the league. It was not the person that has a huge Nike contract and is revitalizing Powerade. He is the first person that Powerade is using kind of in the way that Gatorade uses Jordan. Like, they stopped doing that for a long time and they're reintroducing it with Ja Morant. I'm only saying that to say is that they're trying to hand this man the keys to the kingdom. And that's what he wants. That's what he has expressed that he wants. So I don't care about the gun thing. I'm a legal gun owner. I don't like the way he was holding the gun. I think that was really reckless. It does not look like he's been trained to deal with guns, and you don't want to see anybody get hurt. And then there was stuff that came out that said it was a toy gun. Whatever the case was, right? Ja Morant got called to Adam Silver's office. Adam Silver is the boss of the NBA. It is a multi-billion-dollar global organization. And a lot of players were pushing on Ja Morant because players tend to like Adam Silver. He tends to be a lot nicer than David Stern. He is what they call a player's leader, right? Like he works really well with players. It's a thing, all right? That man talked to him. They had a conversation, eye to eye, man to man. There were things that were said. There were commitments that were made. And then Ja Morant played in that man's face a few weeks later. He embarrassed that man. He put pressure on that man. Now, all the owners, and he is the opposite of Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell is an owner's, he works really well with the NFL owners. Players don't really love Roger Goodell like that. Owners love him. So you have to reverse that. I don't think that owners necessarily hate Adam Silver, but I bet you that a lot of those owners will see what's going on. You see what's happening? Ja Morant put Adam Silver in the corner. He is about player empowerment. He's about all these things. And you lied to that dude and you embarrassed him. And just as two men, like now he has to drop a hammer on you when your 8-game suspension was a slap on the wrist. And to be honest, I think this 25-game suspension is a lot. I think it's a lot of money, but it could have been so much worse. And it just, for the people that saying like, yo, you tripping, you bugging, you this, you that, it's like, listen, man, let's just have a real conversation here. You've heard stories of people robbing liquor stores for a few $100s to risk their lives. You've heard people rob banks. People been killed robbing banks, killed people, whatever the case. They may get $10,000, maybe $100,000. I don't know. Not a bank robber. This man makes over $300,000 a game. It's going up. I know it was a little bit less last year. I don't care how real you keeping it. As somebody who came from real poverty, right? I've never been with the shits. I've never been no gangster. I am somewhat risk averse. I am not a tough guy. I've never been one, ever. But I grew up in a certain type of environment, the way a lot of people that's watching this have as well. And all those people that I know, if they were making that kind of money, I don't think that they would say it's smart to just burn it, to just throw it away. I think if somebody is your friend, they are not encouraging that. So I think while it is important and it's cool to encourage Ja Morant, like I really want to see him be successful. I'm not going to pile on him. I'm not. This conversation is more for people who mindset is like, who don't understand what the issue is. It's bigger than a gun. It's bigger than the incidents that he may or may not have had with his mom calling him when she had an issue with somebody, him going up and roughing somebody up. It's bigger than the issue of him potentially having a fight with a 17-year-old on his property. It's bigger than that. Because you said you wanted to lead this league. People, Ja Morant has the potential to become a billion-dollar athlete. I'll just say this. I think Ja Morant's extremely blessed. I think that it could have been a lot worse. I think that, and I hope that he now has some people around him that can help steer him in the right direction. I mean, he is a young brother. I've done stupid stuff. I'm in my late 30s. I did stupid stuff a few weeks ago. Probably did something stupid today. Like, so it's not that. But here's where I'm leaving it, right? Here's the larger conversation. For me, anyway. I think we learn how to survive, but we never get the lessons on how to be successful. We never get the lessons on how to live once you have arrived at success. And I can speak to that firsthand. I can outwork you. I can lock in. I can give it my all. I can go the extra mile. I can beat you. I can be so determined that I will not live in poverty, that I outwork most of the people around me, which I have. But none of the people around me ever really made it to the level of success that I've made it at. It is. You have to find people that have been there. You have to find people that have made mistakes in the vein of your new current situation. I struggle with that. I struggle to make friends. I'm not a super friendly guy. I went to 11 elementary schools at least. I don't remember. I've counted. That's usually where I end up when I count. I've lived in 3 different states as a kid. I grew up homeless. Like, I got used to being in a place for a year, maybe 2 years. The first time I actually started at a school and finished at that school was California State University, Hayward, which is now Cal State East Bay. It's the first time I entered into a school and stayed there the entire time and finished at the end without transferring or going somewhere new. So I don't know how to add new people to my life. I'm not a very trusting person, okay? So when I say I understand that it might be hard for Ja Morant to have new people come into his life that he can trust, that he can listen to, when I say I understand that, I do on my level. I'm not on Ja's level. But I know that it's essential for my survival or I will throw it away. Do y'all really want to see this brother throw away his career? Do you really want to see him in a car and that gun accidentally goes off and something that he can never take back happens? Y'all remember Jason Williams when he played for the Nets? And a friend got shot, I think, at his house. I ain't seen Jason Williams since. And it's sad. So the lesson that I want to give to my people or to the people that's watching this, and if you rock with me, when we surviving, when we learn how to get to the bag, when we learning how to be successful and to live out our dreams, we also got to learn what to do once we get there. We also got to learn who to surround ourselves with. I am not exempt from that. Ja Morant is not exempt from that. Zion Williamson is not exempt from that. Your pastor may not be exempt from that. Your mother was probably not exempt from that. Everybody is human. But what I'm saying is, man, is that if God has blessed you with something, do what you can to protect it. Be healthy. And when you make a mistake, dust yourself off and you come back stronger. Ja Morant's going to come back stronger. Ja Morant, barring injury, and Lord, I pray nothing happens to him. I'm a big Derrick Rose fan. I think he is Derrick Rose reincarnated. All right. But the way he plays above the rim is dangerous. There's a lot of danger involved in how Ja Morant plays. So I pray that he is fine and he never gets hurt or anything like that. But he is a generational talent. And I'm not just talking about him because he plays basketball. Substitute Ja Morant for one of your favorite people or yourself. All right. But all that talk about the league was tripping or he didn't deserve this or he didn't deserve that or whatever the case. Ja Morant got lucky. We should all be so lucky. So my last message after all my babbling will absolutely be: surround yourself with people that are on your level and that can help guide you. Live in your dream and learn how to be successful. Success, I always thought it would be a line that I would cross or it would be this moment that I could tell. And it's really not like that. One day I was just really, really struggling, and then you look up and it's like, oh, things have gotten a little bit better. And I didn't know what to do with that. And a lot of us don't. So give me your thoughts in the comments. Give me thoughts of topics that you like to see me talk about. And if some of the topics are really dope, I think I might even invite some people on to Cole Conversations. But I'll see you next time. Subscribe. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and turn on those notifications. Out. Hey folks, quick update on the Ja Morant story. Memphis has just signed Derrick Rose to 2 years. I think this is a great pickup that is fully intentioned to help Ja Morant. I've said this before. Ja Morant needed a fellow superstar that had his level of stardom, that doesn't really need anything from him, that's kind of been through it all and seen it all and held a high level of success. And Derrick Rose is the perfect person. Ja Morant is mostly compared to Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose grew up in Chicago. He is Chicago through and through, and he just has a lot of maturity. So this is Memphis really investing in their superstar, and best of luck to both of them. I'm a Derrick Rose fan wherever he is and whatever he's doing. So there you go.